people should be calling out. But just because he used hyperbole doesn't mean that the core argument he's making is false. You understand? He exaggerates to get hype, to get bluster going, but his article, what he's talking about, actually has merit. He's saying, why are we using these chemicals to basically color our foods when we could be using natural things that everyone eats that are actually not bad for you at all? Carrot juice, which is healthy. Why not turmeric, a spice that's very common in many different kinds of cuisine? Why don't we use that instead of yellow 5, which shrinks your pee-pee? Okay, we already said it doesn't, all right? But you understand what I'm saying. I just use some hyperbole there, and that's the kind of thing that they do. But I said this last week. I feel like this is what happens with Donald Trump. He overtalks so much with his hyperbole that then people kind of write him off and don't give him credit for the things that he says that are valid because he's exaggerating too much. I wish that he would kind of maybe check it a little bit. But the thing is, I actually feel that those who support Donald Trump like the hyperbole. They like the exaggeration. They find it fun. They find it energetic. They find it different from what other politicians do. And that's why they like the guy and keep voting for him. So it's just funny because here we go again. Donald Trump is not even in office yet. He hasn't been sworn in yet. And immediately we have all the mainstream leftist, very, very progressive media coming out and doing articles to try to smear every single person involved with him. When in reality, okay, I get it. I wish they would calm down and be more logical with the way that they say things, but it doesn't mean that everything they say is false. RFK Jr. in this point actually has a point. There are chemicals in the food that shouldn't be in there. We could have other things in there. There's no reason to. Why is the U.S. Food and Drug Administration allow all these chemicals in our foods when other countries don't and they have healthier alternatives, right? You tell me, and that's what I mean. So I don't get it. So anyway, don't always believe everything you're hearing in the media. Don't believe the hyperbole. A lot of it is a bunch of bullshit from the Republican Party, but at the same time, just because they use the hyperbole doesn't mean everything they say is wrong. The media will tell you that. They will say everything Trump says, everything RFK Jr. says, everything the cabinet says is wrong. That's not true. That's exactly the kind of hyperbole that the left likes to use to discredit their opponents, and they do it all the time. Be careful about that. You can't really trust the mainstream media because they're always spinning it in one of these angles. Okay. So that's our first story for the night. That was a nice quick intro story, was it not? Pretty good. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, thanks so far. We got our first tip, or our second tip of the night. A $1.20 tip. So here's someone. RFK is a documented anti-vax conspiracy theorist. A lot of what he has said has been disproven by doctors and scientists. Okay, I'm not sure what that has to do with the topic of what we just talked about. I don't. I get it. People don't like the guy for various different reasons. He was right on that subject. He's correct. What he said was actually correct. He just exaggerated, and then people gave him shit for it, but his point was right.